2/3 of the contents of the cart were still there. About like a third of like the like meat that would have probably been cold at that point was missing. Like you would have noticed like when you were walking up this morning. It's just kind of like it's almost there's just a bunch of like scraps that were like chunked off and like ripped off and taken off, and it's just like on the top layer. Like you could definitely tell it's like lower than it was before in terms of the contents of the cart. Like it went down.
All right, Isaac is pretty happy with that. He was expecting worse.
Yeah, you didn't get cleaned up. They respect you still somewhat, but when you walk in and you've been probably sitting for a bit and relaxing, you see Vereen and Lady Dravanas looking freshened up, walking down, and you guys would see each other. You,
Morning.
Good
Oh, sorry.
morning.
Hey, Isaac.
How do you all sleep? Well, I hope.
I slept well.
Oh, you know,
Say, where is... Oh, sorry.
I slept okay, I guess.
Say, where is Night Owl? Still holed up in his room somewhere?
Yeah, he's not budging.
Yes, well, he did have a big day. Wrestled a man, wrestled a turtle.
Yeah, and he is a night owl, so it makes sense that he's still asleep.
True, true.
you,
I had to, I'm sorry.
you fucking dad joker. Remember, you still have one the ceiling in the chamber, but
I think I already used it.
did you?
Not in character.
You didn't use it in character. You have one in character use.
Yo, I decided to
Right.
turn the stream on, by the way, just so you guys know.
You did? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh.
Because I feel like, I don't know, it's probably best to just get it on.
I guess might as well document it.
Okay.
And
Well,
Yeah,
we don't need him to go sell the spoils of our hunt, do we?
don't forget magical Mr. Maximilian's still not there either, Isaac.
Oh, he's not? Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah,
he's
I'm like
beauty sleeping.
passed the fuck out.
He is asleep.
Yesterday was like insane for me. First
You
time
could probably
finding
infer it
something,
was a bit
first
much
time.
for him and expect him to be like not wanting to wake up yet.
Say, has Mike been down yet?
No, we didn't want to wake him up yet, but I mean, we might need to.
Yes, it's best not to overstay your welcome in places like this. After everyone sobers up, they're much less friendly. And then Isaac will kind of go and bang on I imagine one of the only other occupied rooms.
I just want somebody completely random to come out and send me. Just like,
Like,
what the fuck? Like, all of a sudden, we start a party conflict. Yeah.
So you're saying you're banging on one of the random doors, you said?
Well, I imagine there's only so many that aren't. Wait, did I see him go into a room last night?
You saw him go up. I don't know if you saw him go like where upstairs.
Yeah,
We could say you did if you want for
Yeah,
the sake
okay.
of yeah.
I'll give best guess on which room he went to and start banging on it and say, Max, Max, get out here. We got work to do.
Roll a d20.
Yes, yeah. I'm like out.
Do you really want him to roll a d?
5 more minutes, kind of.
Okay, Rose.
Yeah, 11.
You know, like I wanted you to roll a d20, but like I didn't think about what to do after you rolled the d20.
Well, I imagine on a 1, it's just not your room. It's
Yeah. No, it's like awkward. Part of me thinks it should be like a 50-50. I kind of wanted to sleep through this, to be honest, but
Max, we're selling the stuff. I mean,
what?
if you're not there to negotiate the split,
What?
we're gonna have to give you industry standard 10%.
What?
Less money, Max. All those components for your
what?
magical spells, they need gold, yeah. Oh, sorry, not gold. They need ruskets, yeah.
Do they? What? Out of character, do they? Is it? Do I have to use ruskets for my spells? Feels bad.
Yeah,
Is
people
there-
actually cost ruskets in this world. So it's the island.
I imagine there's got to be some magical components that cost credits. It's like okay, I'll be like this.
Certain
Isaac
spells have components, yeah.
Isaac will kind of turn away from the door and kind of like not shouting, but like whisper shouting, but like it's a shame. Saw that beautiful cape down at the fashion shop today. With the reflective lining. Would have been great, but
There's a nice cave.
I mean,
What?
yeah, but of course you need ruskets for it. If you don't, not
I
coming with
don't
us,
have
then
ruskets.
well,
Uh,
bye, Max. And I'll start going down the stairs.
like, 30 minutes later, I'm gonna wake up and realize what happened. Give me
Okay,
like a
friend.
solid 30 minutes for it to set in, and then I'm gonna run out chasing after you guys for the cape.
Okay.
That's what I've decided.
For the non-existent game.
Yeah, no, like I'm gonna wake up in like 30 minutes. I'm just like,
Wide-eyed
oh,
stare up
cape!
at the ceiling.
Oh man!
Cape? Cape?
So like after you guys leave, 30 minutes later, I'm gonna get up.
Okay.
Okay, we can probably get
You guys
a
gonna
new
go to
donkey and get back. I'm guessing we're going to the Adventures Guild, or sorry, not Adventures Guild.
That's like the little hall, yeah. The
Yeah.
whole city, little city hall. Local. Little hall.
City Hall first.
Yeah. Um, so luckily for you, there had already been some donkeys ready at the end because it was an early time, and the stable people, since they already knew you had your cart, you didn't return it. They just had to be nice and like leave you a donkey, because again, they like Isaac enough because he's done a lot of stuff for like small things for the people around town that they're pretty agreeable with him and wouldn't show the people who don't have like an issue with him. And when you guys get out, you'd see like the donkey waiting like next to like the cart. Looks like a lot of the stuff was rummaged through, like I said, in the giant pile in the back. There was like a few scales thrown this way and that, and a few sitting on the ground. But like nothing seemed like it was major that was stolen. And thankfully you guys kept all the bigger goods with you inside. But if you want, you guys could choose to ride the cart in the town. You could just kind of walk it in the town and pull the donkey by the reins.
Yeah, it's just walking into town. It's not far.
Walk it in. Okay. Bump it up, bump, 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 bump. We got way to on us. We
This
going
is
this
out of
way, bitch.
character, but should we also check on the condition of the turtle?
Condition of the turtle.
Yeah.
I want Geronus's like.
Yeah, it's like the heat,
Back.
the heat knapsack. You know.
No, I meant the whatchamacallit, like the corpse.
Oh yeah, I
Oh.
talked about that earlier.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. It was like 2/3 of it was like.
Yeah, you
rough.
guys don't have like the full corpse. You guys just like basically scavenged the corpse as much as you could, and you dumped like what you couldn't take into the water where like all the eggs were.
No, I meant like when we left the cart out with the whatchamacallit.
Yeah, it's alright. I mentioned that earlier. Yeah, about like 1/3 of like the stuff was like scavenged or taken by like all of like the fucking
Oh, okay. Okay.
ruffians, and you're good. And like little street riffraff. But because of thankfully the area, they weren't too harsh on you. They just took their share.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that it was mostly the meat that they took.
Yeah, they mostly took a lot of the meat.
Yeah, and I think the request was for the hide, so we should be good.
Yeah, it was for the hide and the scales, so luckily nothing that was too major got taken. You guys just have like 10-ish to like 15-ish pounds left of the giant turtle's meat and the amount that was taken. Like about 1/3 of the content of the total thing was taken, but it's like almost all the meat. They fucking like they saw free food. They didn't know what it was. They just knew it smelled like food. But
Yeah, turtle
you-
soup is a delicacy, you know.
yeah, hey, when it's free, it's free. Can't complain. Uh, when you guys were riding and walking in the town, you notice it's pretty lively. There's a good amount of people walking around town. Various colors are strewn about on the different houses and on the different people's clothes. Streaks of red, blue, and yellow everywhere. And these seem to be the main colors that everyone wore in town. The locals who were here were used to the fact that they kind of represented the three anchors, like I mentioned before, the three little main factions of the city. People just kind of tended to wear colors with the one that they were kind of most in like favor of or felt the closest to. So they tend to wear colors that were associated with the inhabitants of the city and the people who've been here for a good bit. Um, yeah, as you're walking in, so where do you guys want to stop first? You said the town hall, I think you said.
Town hall. That's the stuff that goes bad first. So this is all the turtle parts.
You got it.
Oh, and I think the potion maker is there too.
She's on the way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we can after we get rid of this cart, we
I
can see if
completely
she
forgot
still
about
wants
that.
the heart.
Yeah, I'll move you three.
Oh, I'm all crooked.
Yeah, you were crooked for some reason.
It's because my neck.
Oh yeah. Your neck's all fucked up. You looking around weird, you're just like, man, everything seems kinda off. I mean the sky looks a little different. But as you guys come, thankfully it's pretty early and the walkways and the boardwalks are pretty clear. Most of the people who are up at this hour were like on their way to their job or to the market, and you guys kind of you're not really at the heart of the market, so you were able to avoid a lot of the foot traffic since most of it was going the other direction. Um, no one really wanted to be going the same direction as you. No one's really going the same direction as you. So it's a pretty straight shot when you guys just walked through town. Um, one of the things you might have noticed is there's a decent amount of like on patrol around the city and just people in red uniforms wandering around. Those are just basically the people in charge of city security, like mentioned before. Kind of similar to the guards who kept watch at the gate, except these people are a lot more like. You know how like in Nazi Germany it was kind of like the Gestapo? They're kind of like that, but they're not as like. They're not really high. They're not as like under like the guys at night or like the guys like needing to. They just kind of like go and like deal with problems when there's problems. They're just like the hey, you're doing stupid shit. Stop, or you're getting the shit beaten out of you.
Would it
But
be normal to see these kind of people out?
yeah, like they're normal. Like they're just
Okay.
like a normal part of the city. Like they keep the city in check. Like there's no like guards like that do that. Like they do that. The guards are just more there for like keeping the walls and the borders secure, not keeping the city together. That's the job of the oh, so stupid. The the Chard. That's
Mm.
what they are. The Chard. And as you guys head over, get there, there doesn't really seem to be too many people. You'd see that as you're walking in, the kobold that was there before riding on the back of the Goliath was just kind of like relaxing behind one of the desks, and the Goliath was nowhere to be seen. He was just sitting at a really short desk. It'd probably be for like medium-sized people, about like a little under, like about hip height is where the desk would be. So it's almost kind of like a school child's desk in terms of size. And he was sitting at his desk working on some paperwork, and his eyes lit up as he watched you guys walking in, and almost like a squawkish, like shrill, he called out to you guys like, "Oh, you guys are back! How'd it go?" And he seemed a little surprised to see you guys back already.
Oh, didn't expect us back, huh? Yeah, I
Uh,
thought that listing was a little more dangerous than y'all let on.
it was a bit of a bigger problem. We thought it was probably gonna get promoted after a few more people disappeared, but
You could have
you guys
mentioned the
didn't.
lightning before we left.
There has to be some surprise to adventuring Isaac. Okay.
Yes, well, as you can see, we're back, and we
Uh,
did do it. As
And he kind of be sitting up, like slowly stretching his arms as the little kobold like hobbled up on his feet and he's looking around, like scratching his head. He's like, okay, well, show me what you got. And he slowly was kind of walking towards the door, like where you guys were, to like follow you guys outside to inspect the contents of the cart.
I think we did a pretty good job. Couldn't bring the whole thing back, of course, with one cart. But yeah, we tried some of the meat. It's pretty nice.
Meat's good, huh? Okay.
All the scales and shell should be intact though.
You see him like grabbing like some of like the little like kind of not like torn up scales, but the individual scales, holding them up in the skylight, and they'd glimmer. They'd have like a light, like glittery blue effect, like in the light. And he'd be holding it up, staring at it, and looking at it, moving it to side to side, just inspecting the scales, and just kind of nodding his head slowly. And he was just slowly going through the cart one thing at a time, seeing what he thought about it. And
What's his name? Or did we get
uh,
one?
it was Thorman Thistlepop. Thistle.
Ah,
Thistle is
come
then
on,
like the plant.
come on, Thistlepop. When have I ever brought in shoddy hide or scale? You know I'm good for it.
You, you do tend to be good for it, Isaac, but I don't. I know this is what it's supposed to be, but it's a little less than I was hoping for. I mean, you see him kind of just like looking up into the sky and like, muttering to himself as he's like looking. His eyes are kind of darting back and forth. He's lost in his own thoughts for a second,
Well,
and he looks at the three of you currently present. He's like, "How many of you did this?"
well, this isn't the whole team we took out, but most of it. And as far as it
Okay.
being less than you're expecting, it was a turtle shooting lightning gas. We had to get a little rough with it.
For everything in the cart, you see him like scratching at his head and looking really like unsure of himself as he's staring at it. He grabs the shell and he gives it like another look, looking over the shell really
Please
close
tell
to
me he
him.
like bites like a bit with his teeth, like a scale with his tooth.
Oh yeah, like he bit one of the scales he's holding up. He made sure it's authentic. He had to make sure it wasn't some like glittery magical piece of cloth. He was checking in. His teeth like clanked loudly against the little like rough fucking scale as he bit. And he's like, "Yeah, that's a scale." And as he's holding up the shell as best as he can, kind of like how like you like hold up like a heavy rock and like you lift it up a bit, holding it up with like your arms just to like, look at it. He'd drop it down in the cart. He's like, okay. Well, for all of this, I can give you guys. Let's call it even a 500 ruskets is what I can do for you.
500 ruskets, really?
500.
You, Thistlepop, you're kidding. This took 5 of us, nearly dying to take down all the way back out here. 4 to 5-star bounty, and you give me 500?
You want to roll a persuasion check?
Yeah, sure.
'Up
500
to
does
you
seem
if
a
any.
bit low.
Yeah, that does actually seem rather low. Not
Does.
perception, persuasion. There, yeah.
He's a low baller. He doesn't want to give you good money.
Oh no.
Okay. He looks at you really disgruntled and like confused. Is like, like, it's none of my business how many people it took. That's not my issue. Isaac, you know it's all a business here. You know we don't care about. Fine, I can give you guys.
Well, hey, Thistlepop, let's talk about it here. Look, 500's fine, but I need something else from you.
And what's that?
I got a friend of mine here. They're looking for something. I know a lot of people rolling through the hall. I know you got connections. You think you could help me out with some information on somebody?
Depends. Isaac, what? Oh, what kind of person were you looking for with this?
I'll look over at Viren.
Varen? Oh.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a high elf male. Be around in his 200s at this point.
200s. You fucking else, you last forever. It doesn't really tell me much. What does he look like, young lady? I need the.
Brown hair, green eyes, pretty stout figure.
Do you know if you seem kind of muttering and stuff, thinking? And he's like looking around for a second, kind of like rubbing at his little like snout. His like snout, his like little like snout of like a face. And he's thinking, so by the way, at this point, by the way, Horace, like the whole time it took and everything, you would have probably like started to wake up at this point because like, it took him a little bit to get
Yeah,
over in.
I was gonna say after you finish
Yeah,
this conversation,
yeah.
I like goes
I
straight into the fashion show.
yeah, I'm assuming he's rushing over this, so I'm trying to find
I'm
the
trying to find
legendary
that like
cape.
cape, and I just can't find it. I just keep checking like around town. I'm just like, where's this cape? Like I just can't find it.
But he looks at you pretty puzzled, but he kind of like rub it. He's like, wait a minute, I saw one. I didn't really get a good look at him, but he was heading out to the north, and I haven't seen him back since. He wasn't really here long, but
Did you ever catch his name?
I didn't know, but he's definitely stout.
Man, it doesn't really tell me much. Was he with a group of people at all?
He was, yeah. They were actually heading out to the north to go help with one of the other settlements of because they were having some issues, and they put out a bounty on our board, actually. So
Is that bounty still there?
we took it down. It never got claimed, and too many people went after it and haven't really come back yet. Wasn't really a successful bounty, so we told them to deal with it themselves. And the guy's kind of like has a bit of like a snarky smile as he's like thinking about it and like looking over at the bounty board like he managed the wide variety of stuff he had on it.
Foreboding. So you said it was up north, towards the settlement?
Yeah, it was over towards what was it? Victory Point. That's what it was. Yes, that's where those people are. Yeah, they're very they very much like to fight there. They're very combative people. They're not very good at talking. So they tend to try to have us talk for them once in a while when they can't figure out their way through their own issues. And that's when we send people. But
Sorry, go ahead.
that's the last I saw of him. Yeah.
Well, I thank you for your time. I really
Yeah.
do appreciate that.
And as he like went back up to his desk, guys, like he'd walk over and he'd actually set down 2 bags of 500 ruskets, and you kind of just ignore you as he set them down, and then go back to his desk trying to ignore the fact that he gave you guys twice as much as he said. But they'd be two little like heavy, like probably like 3 to 4 pound bags of like coins.
Did you say he gave us twice as much?
Yes, he gave you 1,000. But, like,
Oh, nice.
he said 500, but he ended up giving you his 1,000.
Hey,
Just wanna.
I'll keep one and give one to the girls, and we can like out of character we can split it all up evenly.
Yeah.
Beginning of next session.
Yeah, be an next session. Yeah.
Hey
But
Isaac. Oh, sorry.
you're good.
Thank you for that.
Least I could do is people like this, they'll try to take you for a ride, but if you make it easy for them to, or seem easy for you to give them something valuable, then anyways, they'll take care of the cart. Or us. What do we go say we track down that crazy potion girl that I heard about?
Okay. So, you three are going toward the alchemist shop. Very happy, very distressed, very excited. Magical Mr. Maximilian the Second is, I'm assuming, sprinting his way through the streets as he's probably running to try to catch up.
I'm just, I'm on my
You're
like
booking
fourth
it.
fashion shop now. Like,
Okay, so as you walk in, this one seems a little more upscale than the last few. The first one you went into was all just basic commoner clothes and rags and basic like hemp shirts and hemp jackets and hemp in like basically fucking bags for pants. But this one seemed to be actually like fine clothes. And when you walked in, you saw a woman standing behind the desk. She was a smaller human woman, but was older. And she was like sitting there with glasses on, just staring as like you were kind of huffing and burst into the door, coming into the shop.
do you have gloriously fashionable capes here?
Excuse me, did you say capes?
Yes, yes, sorry, yes, yes.
I, I don't know about glorious, but you'd see her kind of like look at you a little weird, but she'd get up and stand up, and she'd start to look around the shop, muttering to herself. And she's like, "Oh, what a weirdo." See, okay, capes, capes. She looks around for a bit and she ends up walking out with what looks like a really normal, bland, like not like vomit green, but like a dark like forest green with a tinge of like being a little bit too light splattered in. And she held it up to you. She was like, "Is this what you're looking for, sir?"
No, how
Okay.
is that glorious?
You didn't say what glorious was, sir. So I really can't help you if you don't tell me. But
I want to do like a cape swish with my cape, and, and
you can like swish your cape basically around yourself.
yeah, just swish it around, like some shit, like some kid trying to pretend to be like a superhero.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just like whoosh, and like spin around a little bit. Like, it has to be even better than this cape.
Even better in this game. Okay. Um, did you want me to? Did you want to commission something? I don't really know what you want here. Um,
So you don't have any.
we don't have any in stock, no, sir. We're completely sold out right now of our last finest capes, as you put it.
Sold out?
Yeah, they were sold to a gentleman bought them.
Who?
Um, I don't know if you really want to know, but you know the festival going on over in town, right outside of it.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. The owner, Sire Goldhorn, he came in actually, and he bought the rest of our capes out.
He bought all of the capes?
Every last one besides the this, and she's holding up like the ugly green cape, giving it a little wave, kind of like doing a little swish with it and with her hand in the air, mocking a bit of what you did earlier.
Why?
I don't know, hon. It's business. It's not mine to worry about.
I'm just gonna like turn on and like
Puff out.
off out. I was like, farewell, and just like turn off and walk away.
Okay. So as you're huffing and puffing your way along, you actually end up running into your friends in front of the alchemist store because you were a little bit like down the way, and you see them all like approaching the store when you get over there as you're stomping away angrily from the woman's store, and you'd see Isaac like among them, like
Isaac,
Yes,
that
Max.
terrible carnival man bought all of the beautiful capes in town.
Oh, even the one that I told you about and totally
Yes!
existed. Oh,
Especially that one. He
How
bought
horrible.
all of them except one super disgusting cape, but it was more of a like bedcloth, really. But anyways, all of them.
You don't think it could possibly be related to the goings on of yesterday at the fair?
Oh, it is definitely related.
I see. I see. Oh, out of character, is the fair the guy who ran the fair like associated with any of the three like guilds?
at most he'd be associated with because of the amount of money he brings to the town and the amount of stuff. He'd be closest associated with the gold marrow, or like more the merchants and the money gurus and the traders of town.
Hmm.
Because the amount of money he brings in with his event every year and people happily buying stuff from the stalls there and everything.
We
Well-
need to investigate him.
For buying capes?
Yes, all of them.
Well, I suppose we could definitely investigate him. I'm sure there might even be more nefarious things than cape buying going on. I remember our good friend Thatcher was rather concerned about that chained-up dragon. Well, formerly chained-up dragon.
Oh, that's normal at circuses, but nonetheless. Yes, yes.
Oh, good news is, and I'll take out my bag of reskets and give him the to be to be determined split later amount. We sold all the parts to the turtle. Well, most of the parts to the turtle. The parts that they know we had, and they gave us 1,000.
Lovely, lovely.
So maybe we can find a cape that your new rival missed in a shop.
Very well. Let us go.
Well, soon. We actually just arrived here at the alchemist shop. They requested the heart, if you remember.
Oh, that one.
And the weird
unique
lady.
Lady. Yes, yes.
Is oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, we're going to go talk with her again.
Oh, of course. Hey, you're in Windstrom now. Most people are unique.
Oh. Okay.
Is the door to the alchemist shop closed or like open?
It's closed right now, but it's not like it was like closed because they're not being like open for business. It just wasn't.
Actually,
open.
wait. I never met her.
You did not, so you just heard
did
about it.
not.
Okay.
I think it came up when we were cutting the heart out, or when Night Owl was
You
trying to
mentioned
punch.
it.
We was trying to
He
punch
just knows
the
that
heart
there's
out.
some alchemist lady.
I just realized, though, yeah, I haven't actually met her.
It's okay, I'll meet her.
Oh, but it's fine. My dialogue was fine still. Okay.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
Okay. You knock on the door.
I'm gonna assume I heard stories from you guys about her.
Nothing happens.
I open it like slowly, like, and go, hello?
The door's locked.
Was it locked? I thought you said it was just closed.
Just
So-
check. It's
As you open the door, roll for initiative. I'm kidding. As you open the door, a bit of a foul odor hits your nose. It almost smells like stunk and rotting, like rotting food. As the pungent aroma just immediately rushes out and hits your nose and your nostrils, filling it as the door is opened up, even just a crack. And inside in the middle, you see this strange woman kind of like sitting alone with on a stool, and she's just facing the wall. And it's not like the wall is like looking at the door or near the door. It's looking completely opposite of the door. And she's just sitting on a stool behind her counter and just staring at the wall. And as you took your peek inside, you saw there was all kinds of papers, chunks of food on the ground. There was strange chunks of meat on the ground. There was just some plants on the ground. You could see a few shattered potion bottles on the ground. She was in the same coat as you met her in last time, where she had a bunch of fucking potions up her sleeve. But she was kind of just absentmindedly staring at the wall.
Isaac will step inside since the door is open, and
Yeah, that strong ass gross smell hits your nose by the way as you
Oh,
step in.
did we catch her name last time?
Suda. Or, yeah, Uda.
Ulda. I think it was
Ulda?
Ulda. Ulda, yeah, Ulda.
And Isaac will just kind of raise his voice a bit and say, "Excuse me, Miss Ulda."
As you say it, like her name, you hear like a little bit of like a soft like creak of like the stool. She shifts around a bit in like her seat, kind of like not like rocking, but adjusting herself to like straighten her back up a bit. And you hear a loud yawn, and she goes, and looks around. But instead of like a normal way of looking at people behind you, she kind of grabs on the side of the stool and like fully like bends her back over, looking at you guys from like her feet like probably around like your crotch. Like her face is probably like around your crotch level. She's like looking up at you guys from that angle. And she's like, and her replies, "You rang?"
Well, I didn't see a bell, but yes.
Okay.
My name is Isaac. I believe you met my compatriots yesterday. We said we were going to hunt the large turtle to the east.
Oh, it was you guys. You see her kind of like, as she says that, she's getting a little excited, her smile growing, her like wicked smile growing a bit, and she kind of stumbles forward in her seat, well, backwards in her seat, and she falls on her ass, and a bit of like a, not like a wicked giggle, but like an excited little like ugly giggle comes out as she stands up to her feet, dusting herself off, and she's kind of slowly like walks over towards you, Verena. Her eyes like glued to you, and she's like, "Yes, yes, the heart. You have it."
Yeah, I have it. I reach into my satchel, pull up the wrapped heart and unwrap it in front of her.
She looks at the heart pretty happily as you pull it out, and without really asking, kind of snatches it in her own hands as she's looking at it. She's like, "Wow, you really do. Okay. Um, I don't think I said what I'd give you first, did I? You see her kind of looking around the place a little surprised that she'd forgotten to say what she'd give for it. She says, one moment, and there's a bit of like a small little back office on the side of the. She stumbles off into it. You hear it sounds like a wet squelch as she's digging around. She like closes the door, and she's looking around inside the room, humming to herself. Um, after a few That's like a minute or two of her being left alone, and more of like the strange, wet, gross squelching noise coming from behind the door. She peeks her head out, looking at you guys, and she's holding out a sack, and it's sort of about, give or take, another 500 ruskets. It looks like about the same size as the other one from before. And she's like, did, what would this do for you, dear? And she's looking over at Marine holding it out.
Miss Whittle, you already gave us your payment. You gave me a health potion, remember?
That's fine. Just here. If you want the heart,
Oh,
if you
well,
want me to take it, I'll just take this.
thank you.
She nodded her head and then kind of like darted her eyes looking at you guys before like shutting the door slowly, and you heard like the turn of a lock, and she went in there with the heart, and you heard more of the strange, gross noises coming from inside as she was doing whatever she was doing in there.
Did she lock me in there with her?
No, she's in there alone. She's in there alone.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
That'd be great though if she just like forgot I was in there.
This cat's like, what the fuck are you doing, lady?
What are you doing in my shop?
This is
Like,
my
well, she
shop.
was interesting. Did I recognize any of the like weird shit on her shelf in the time we were in there?
A lot of the shit that was on her shelf was mainly like various alchemy supplies and things that'd be used to like combine in the potions, things like various creature eyeballs, smaller creature limbs. You have a few floating eyeballs in some bottles. You have a few things of like random creatures' testicles and hearts. A lot of like variants what you'd expect from a fantasy alchemist. We trying to combine these wacky things together. But as you looked around, nothing really stuck out. There was like a small row of potions, surprisingly, for it being an alchemy shop. They didn't really seem to be the main focus of the place for some reason.
Hmm.
But
Part of me wants to wonder what they were making, what she was gonna make with that, but part of me knows I probably shouldn't ask.
it doesn't matter, you know?
Oh, sorry, I was saying that in character.
You're good.
Well, Max, you said you wanted to shop for a new cape. I think I might know of a place or two that might have one that would be passed over even by your very vengeful rival. Do I know of any like jewelry shops in town, or like very very high kind of couture places?
The only place you could think of if you went around all the different cloth shops and didn't have anything was like the weird magical item shop, the Mage's Hand, that tended to was like over by the town hall, that tended to be pretty quiet and no one tended to go in there.
Oh, that might have weird stuff. Yeah. It's like,
That's
what do
the
you say?
only place you could really think of.
Hmm. You want to go check it out with me, Max? Can't guarantee they might have they would have anything very in fashion, but they definitely have the obscure.
Out of character, do we want to go there for the first time, like now or with everybody? Out of
Oh,
curiosity, I don't
it is
mind
almost
going.
midnight.
I don't mind going, but maybe like other people would want to see what they have too. I just wanted to ask before we go.
Yeah, we could like stop around there for midnight and like have it be like a jump-in point for
Yeah, I think we should
Gumball.
stop because we're getting into like more stuff. I'm like scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like
Yeah.
starting to like.
You're
Yeah.
good. It's like
Yeah,
a subtle
I'm
like
gonna end the
okay
stream
point to
now.
stop for me early.